Hey everybody, hello. Very nice to see you here. Hey, Brian, Chaim, Ignacio, James, Joseph, and Victor. All right, so I was bad. I was negligent and I wasn't doing the live broadcasts, but we're resuming that now. So thank you for being here. I will start sharing the screen here. And I will give you the link, the one and only link that you need, and that is this one. So let us open it right here. It's called Advances in AI Webinar Run, and it has a bit.ly link. So I'm giving you that bit.ly link on the chat. Addressing that to everyone, and that way you can follow what we've done. So right now, I'm just saying hello. And I'm saying hello from Houston, Texas, USA, because that's where I am. And you can respond that I am in another place in the world, even though we have some people who are also in Houston. I know that. Okay, so that is great. And the plan of what we're going to do is right here. But in addition to that plan, okay, and Shin. So they say Shin, Shu. Okay. And Brian Shu is also here. Okay, Silicon Valley. That is very, very nice. Now, guys, you can obviously you can chat, but if you want to say anything, then just tell me. I don't open this for everyone just because robots they roam on the internet and they sometimes start attacks. But please tell me. Okay, so that is especially for those people who are new. That is called Advances in AI webinar, and it started more than 2 years ago when I was teaching my first Hugging Face course. And I was very excited about this new thing at this time. It was very new Hugging Face. Now, of course, you all know that AI eclipsed. Hey, hi, James from Brazil. I know you're not completely in Brazil, but it's very exotic. So we're saying that AI eclipsed all the Hugging Face news, and that's where things are. Nevertheless, I do teach Hugging Face courses as open models. That's what you can do with the open models. So I'm waiting for the client to approve the new outline that will not only say that I'm a Hugging Face, but also talk about what is open model AI, and that resides on Hugging Face. That makes sense. So I'll tell you when it gets approved. That's number one. Number two is that I always try things, and with success that is not guaranteed, right? So I'll show you. I'll show you exactly that. I will start with the news. Then I will show you two new things that were put out. Well, they were put out by Andrew Ng and Amazon together, and doing them was not easy. Okay, let us start from the news. One interesting piece of news was that concerning politics. I opened and closed it. Politics and AI. What's going on? Well, what's going on is that Andrew Ng discusses that. I think what is interesting there is the first list of things. It turns out that that there are enough people who'd like to stop AI one way or the other, and then he drops a bomb, and we will see that here. First of all, he explains why for some data scientists and for some people it's potentially profitable to create fear of AI. Okay, so And that's an interesting list. The companies that are training large models would like to put regulation that will be tough for their competitors. And of course, that's very clear and it has always been there. Yes. And then some people really use the danger for stimulating the investments. We'll talk about exactly that point. Now, some people say that there are other problems with AI, like burning all of electricity. So let's go there and look at the list. And it's just interesting. Now, it's too high for us, but what happened is that AI burns all the energy is one potential claim, that responsible use of AI is another one. And then he drops a bomb, which is here. Oh, by the way, innovation dies and there is no job for programmers. That is exactly what I'm dealing with all the time. As Andrew Ng has already put it, he said it's not that the AI takes out the developers, it's that the AI who are the developers who are using AI, they take out those developers who are not using AI. That is the end of it. I don't think personally that regulations will succeed in stopping anything, but I want to really find, I know where I find it. He gives the link, but anyway, I have it open here. It turns out that the guy, no, I need to find it here. Okay, that's the guy who promotes the bad regulation in California. And the fear is that not only in California, but all the states will then follow the idea. Well, that guy is simply trying to kill all of his competition. And now the way it sounds is just very bad. Just because you want to promote your own company, you kill competition of the whole world. But the link is interesting, and that is undisclosed conflict of interest. So open that link. Okay, and it's right here. And it turns out that the sponsor of the Safe AI has a company that does exactly that, that does Safe AI and regulations. So, you could potentially grab the whole world market by just promoting that one bill. That is the high level politics, which we're not really interested in. We are interested in practical news, and the practical news are here. So now I need to explain why. Okay, my story was that I prepared the course. So more and more what I see in my training is that people want they want AI courses. You'll be surprised. Of course, AI is all the rage. Yes, everybody is talking about that. But in the world of training, they're taking it very slowly. So one team from an agency that I don't really honestly don't know, not FBI, but some kind of government related things. They said, okay, you showed us what you can do with Python and maybe machine learning in Python. But honestly, everybody realizes, go and search and you will understand that this is 19th century technology. So we expected more of AI. I asked, what did you expect? This is what they expected. They wanted a course that will allow them to use AI. And exactly these were the practical use cases that they wanted. That's the gem. Okay, so I prepared an outline. Let's talk about what people really want, the people in the field, what they really want with the AI. And they accepted that. I'm teaching it on December 9. It's a 5-day course. So I will be able to teach everything that there is. So they want to make sure that the data stays private. Many people want it, and many companies do that. but few companies teach it. So that's a general statement. But what do we need, they said, is preparing reports for executive. So remember, we're still in the old world of there are executives and there's money, and we'll come back to that. But that's a practical need. That's what we want AI to do. Then employee turnover exists in the world, and the result of it is that people leave. Have you heard about that? Or retire, and we lose all of the experience that could affect us. Now, that's number two. By the way, I will comment on all of that. Number three, automating some daily tasks, like we want to pull stats from a database and post them to Slack. Okay, you ask why AI has anything to do with that. And finally, integrate Kanban into our workflow. And that's the key with AI. So at first, my first initial reaction was, well, first of all, I don't know how to do it. And secondly, I don't know what the AI has to do with it. You need to prepare reports for executive. So prepare reports for executive. You need that somehow automated. So write a script and so on. But here's what happens. I get a course that does exactly that. Let me show you. Now I see a comment, and that's Walter Yu from Illinois. Great. That's wonderful. Okay, so comes the course. Keep in mind that what we had. Here's the course. And by the way, here's the plan of what we are going to do. So let me show you the plan. Closing that. That's our plan. That particular implementation is on Amazon. But really, we understand it doesn't matter wherever it is. The essence is what we need to build, and then you can build it on any cloud or anywhere locally. First step, let's create a connection to any LLM. Essentially, it will be LLM. So we will call it an agent. Okay, we'll get back to that. But it is an AI model. And the first step that you would want for any course is create the connection to your model and then invoke it and say, hello, model. That already is a big deal because you open the connection, you send your signal, you get the results. All the magic is hidden inside of the model anyway. So if you have that, essentially have your problem solved. But we're going to go more. So let me make it bigger. Now, what is that? Wow. Okay, I want to make that slideshow. Okay, so that's our goal. That's the first. Our next step. Well, to make anything useful, you really need to talk to your customer data. Okay, so we'll connect to the CRM. Again, no big deal about that. Anybody can connect to the CRM, and that we don't need LLM for. The next step is, well, we want to do analytics. Like he's asking, what's the cheapest, for example, or what's the most expensive, any kind of generic question. For that, you need your customer data, you need your analytics, and now you need the calculator tool. In other words, you should be able to ask your model, well, give me the report. Coming back to what we need, give me the report on all of that. And I notice that I don't program the report. I do not know how to do the reports. And in fact, I'm reporting exactly the same report that Andrew Ng reports. He says 70% of the programmers report that their mental health improved or that their stress is much less. That's what we're going to do now. That's an unusual approach. You remember what I promised, guys. I promised those 4 common tasks, which are boring. And here you are making it fun. So we connect to the CRM. The next step, We have the calculator and analytics and the next step. Now, guardrails. Of course, you need to say, I'm very, very careful about hacking and no bad language. By the way, I checked, bad language indeed is not welcome by most of the systems. So once you have that, well, you got exactly what the system needs, but you need to put it all together. So putting it all together is called RAG. RAG is retrieval augmented generation. And the essence of RAG is this. You store all of your documents. In that case, we are going to use all of the database of the support documents and imitate an agent. So normally you call, you wait for 30 minutes for the agent searches this database for you, doesn't understand it, doesn't know how to do it, and you have very limited success. Now, what you do with this AI, you search the database automatically. You search it by meaning, not by keywords. Very important. Keywords is, let us say, 1980 technologies, and searching by meaning is 2013 technology. So we made the step. It's not perfect, but nobody has invented anything better yet. So you connect to your support document database and you connect by meaning. And by the way, if you cannot get the answer, you say now we'll include the human. All right, that is the plan. Very good. How to do it. So how to do it, you need to open the course. Let's open. Let's look at it. Why? I know what happened. I'm not sharing. Now, I'm sharing now, but I see myself also. You see that, okay? Let me go to the chat and just verify that we're all okay. Here we are, chat. I apologize. I stop share. I open the chat. Here it is. And in this chat, I'm saying, please confirm me and see my screen. After I say that, I immediately do the share. Okay. Repeat this message because it went to hosts and panelists, but not the complete audience. Here you are. And just ask you to confirm it once more. Since nobody says otherwise, we'll assume that it worked. Okay, yes, thank you, Brian. Oh, wonderful. Okay, great. I really love that feedback. Thank you so much. All right, so you see the problem. We have to create an agent. We go to the course. Here is the course. So that is where the course is. Thank you very much. But we do more. We want to copy that course to our repository and run. That's exactly what I want to show you. Now, in here, you need to start.
In this lesson, you'll use Amazon Bedrock.
But I'm not going too far. Instead, I'm waiting for the notebook to load. So it says loading. We give it a little bit more time and it loads. Okay, well, it will load. But then you discover that even though you can download those notebooks, okay, you can download them, but they will not run because you are watching a TV show. Very nice show, I admit, very nice information. You can even do this. You can click on file and say, download my notebook. Well, actually here I don't download as, and you can download. and it will not work at all. All right, so I did it. Let me show you the other link that I prepared. So we covered the news. I showed you my plan of what I need to accomplish. And this is why I need to accomplish. I showed you that link. And this is how I plan to accomplish. And that is our repository. So you see, this is our repository copy of that, but it turns out that it doesn't work at all. Let's go back. Everything that I'm preparing, and you guys can run every one of those labs that is confirmed as working, it is working. So right now I'm 52 agentic on Bedrock and starting with lesson 1, and it gives you all the instructions which you have to find and download on their course, but that's not too hard. All right, the problem is it doesn't work. So you start that, you open the very first, and that is the first step of our plan. Connect to the engine. Ask some nice questions. Say just hello, how are you doing? And you get to that kind of error, you get to this kind of error. But the first thing that you discover that you missed the course. You know, that was a very interesting course, but it really depends on the simple one. That is all told to you right here. So it turns out how is really that? Okay, let's go there. So that's the first course that you need to take, which is not advertised together together with the second one. You need to listen. You really need to learn. Nothing is coming without a problem. But if you do that, you discover something very useful, and that is the instructions were given in the first course. In the second course, you know, the developer is so tired of teaching ignoramuses like me how to do it that he just starts his environment. But he is only working within his environment, and I'm working with multiple clouds. So, you know, why should I remember everything by heart? Okay, so here's what I do. First of all, I prepare the lab. Here's the lab. If you go there, that is what you need to do first. Okay. Not only that, that is what you need to start with. And that tells you a bit more about how it works. So practically, you open your here, you open your terminal, and you go into your project. And then you go into our repository. Okay. And you make sure you have the latest code. You do. And then you verify where are my labs. They're all here. And then you go to 53. Okay. And then you look up the instructions that I prepared. All right, let's just open it all right here. That's the instruction. And the first instruction that you need to go through is how to run it for the first time. Okay, the first time you do all of that. You do each individual step, and then you will be able to run. So, of course, something may be missing, but here I guarantee that it will work. The next step that you do is, okay, I already ran it once. How do I do it again? Well, it should be here. First of all, that's the wrong thing. It should say 53, right? So promise that everything will work. Yeah, almost partially. But then you do source. That's what you say. Okay, and then you say Jupyter Lab. Now, wonderful. That is much more promising. And what you do is then run step by step. By the way, it also gives you additional instructions. All right, let's do that. At least the packages work. Why did they work? That is because we followed the instruction in the beginning on bringing in additional packages. And then we go to the US West 2. That should also work, but for that, you need to be on the AWS connection. And that the second lesson didn't even mention. The first lesson, though, does with this one. And therefore, in here, you install, it keeps giving me invisible windows. AWS, that's your key. That should be work. Not only that should be working, but also it should be already configured. Think like that. Or maybe it should say, yeah, it tells you that's the key that I have. That's the secret key that I have. That's the region, by the way, US East 1. You may switch if you want, and that's the format. So all of that has to be done, and you can only find it in the previous lesson. But once you do it, you have it. Then you go to class number 2, and you run according to the plan. What was our plan? It was on the desktop right here. Now it begins to make sense, right? So we're going to connect to the agent. Now I'm able to do it because I have done all the setup, plus the keys, plus I'm still missing one thing. And every time that I don't know what to do, for me, one great thing works. I'll show you what it is. Well, let me show you. Let's say I do that. So it doesn't work here because it says an error occurred, you don't have access. All right, you copy that. That's one approach. And you go to ChatGPT. So I now have 2 ChatGPT accounts, one for business and one for personal. Both are premium accounts, but I at least separated that. And now I'm saying, look, I have a problem, and that's my problem. Tell me what to do. All right, so it tells me what I should do, but every time that I don't know how to do it, what I do then is give it the picture. And that was an enormous boon to me when I was setting up a simple bias. I'm sorry, but I don't remember how to set bias. Well, what you do is look at that, make a picture. Okay? Make a screenshot. Go back to ChatGPT, give it the picture. And it perfectly understands the picture. Please note that I didn't copy paste the text. Let it figure it out. So that is the key. So next time I'll show you everything working and the implementation of the use case and how you do all those 4 things. Remember, there were 4 things that I needed to do. These practical use cases. So I'm halfway there. I'm teaching it on December 9th, so by then I surely will be there. And the change in the whole world, the change in the teaching style, the change in the implementation, the change everywhere came because of that. That is the real magic. The real magic is using ChatGPT. Just recently, I was presumptuous and I felt I'm using ChatGPT. I'm always giving it pictures. It always gives me an advice. So there are two limitations. Two lessons. I will put them here. Lesson number one, I did something on my own. I didn't ask ChatGPT. I'm sorry, my fault. So use more AI. In other words, I was trying to fix my website. I just did it on my own. I shouldn't have. I should have given it the picture and then asked what to do. If I go to cPanel, that's, I think, a good use case. All right. And now I don't know what to do. So, well, I should make a snapshot. In my case, I wanted files. And I wanted to restore my backup because I just ruined it. And I then wanted to look at database backups, let's say. All right. Now what? There are many databases that my developers used. Something is here. I need to restore my website. I don't know how to do it. All right, snapshot. Didn't work. Okay. Okay, snapshot. Go back to ChatGPT. I own my website. File AI. How do I restore it? But give it the picture. There you are. It exactly knows what I have, exactly knows what to do. Now it will try to guess what next. So that should be a continued conversation, but he thinks that it's that one appears to be the one. And that is what I should use. Beautiful. So lesson number one, keep using AI and use it more. Lesson number two, use it less. Okay, that's a paradox. Use it more and use it less. When do you use it more? When it is for simple tasks. And simple stuff really includes all that humanity is able to do because, well, that's what it learns from. So if humans can do it and probably put it in the blog, you too can use the experience. Now, that seems it, but that's not it. If you go into anything that requires understanding, then I declare right now that it does not understand anything. It's usually trying to work its way out of the any problem. Yes, I'll do it. 1 second. I see a question. I'll do it. Okay, so practically more sophisticated stuff like philosophy. I delve in philosophy, I delve with complicated subjects, spiritual subjects. There is no clue in ChatGPT to understand that, and I suspect I'm not a reporter who wakes up and talks to ChatGPT and puts it in his newspaper. That's my favorite object of taunts. Now, I think it's maybe even impossible because it doesn't really get it. it learns from the whole humanity, which is, between ourselves, we can say pretty ignorant. And okay, it speaks many languages, very many languages, doesn't make it smarter. And the end result is that I have a certain area that I'm working on, investigating. Should I put AI in special books and special applications? And it never gets it, never understands one thing it does. It knows all the stuff. So it's very wide. You can use it as a very nice reference guide. And that's where it works. So, well, let's put the high level stuff. That's what my lesson today is. That for most human desires, it works. So use it more. Don't stop using it because you'll go into a problem. Or if you're doing something dubious, at least consult with it. But don't expect it to be really understanding anything. Just because of this, I wonder how it will stand with you. But because of that simple consideration that if you want to be above the humanity, well, you cannot learn from humanity. And being above means just doing more interesting things like philosophy that majority of humanity is not interested in. That's it. Now, practically, let's go back. The GitLab GitHub link to Bedrock code, yes, but I'll give you a bit more. So, first of all, that GitHub. Let me move that invisible windows out, and we are here. So that is 2053. That's what you need. And I'm giving that to you on chat. Secondly, 52. 52 is the real goal. Right here, it's the agentic. And next week, we'll appreciate all the beauty of agentic and all the power. Yes, that will come to it. Okay, these two, I invite you to follow the GitHub to, I'll just ask me questions. We are friends who are working on the same problem, so why not? But in addition, I'll give you something else, and that's the major link to this. In that major link here, in that major link, you have everything that you need. You have my information to get in touch. There is a Windows folder, that webinar folder that has all the supporting material. Let me show you, it's really big treasure trove of all kinds of materials right here. So it is here also open for everyone, but especially that one is a very important link. I'm opening that. I call it Sky AI Team Education, but yeah, it's my teammates, they use it, but also everybody can use it. And here are the links you're looking for. So that is the subject. That is the who created it. That is the link to the class. So if you want to do there, you will be met by some paywall credentials, but it's all under deep learning AI. So most likely it's free. Just register. That's deep learning AI for you right now. And if it may be to the Coursera, then okay, subscription to the Coursera is, I think, $40 a month. Now in here, I'm trying to move the chat. In here is the link to my repository. Now, in that repository, you have exactly the our repository verified and working. And not only that, let's scroll to the right. Now, here we have Neha, who is my associate. She verifies that it works. So if you see it here, that's a great chance that it works. Then you see my name, and then if I click and say, yes, it is ready, and in fact, I should say accepted. But no, I think it really should say ready. But when it is green, that accepted, that means completely verified by at least 2 people, and then there's a third person. That's Emily. I cannot contain myself. Emily is a brilliant intern who will reach the stars, but at this time she was verifying those AI labs. That is the link that you get, and that is the link that I just gave you. So let me verify. GitHub link, both of them, but then the link to the webinar and the rich material in the link to the webinar. All right, I'm glad we're back. We plan to continue every Friday. Thank you very much. Thank you. Please come back. When you have questions. All right. And by the way, when I ruined my website, well, that's because I was trying to put a company brochure on there and didn't quite work. But next week, maybe I will show you that too. All right. So thank you, Brian. Thank you, James. Thank you, everyone. Right. And be well. Talk to you next week. By the way, we get the recordings, so you can always check the previous recordings. Everyone be well.